Hey folks, it's Glenn from Back Glenn's Fish. This is my week in review, week 2 of 2024. See you on the other side. This was definitely the best thing that happened on the fish keeping front for me this week. This is my breeding pair, now proven pair of Neolampologus bischeri canacondi, which have got some fry. I kind of suspected something might have been going on, and it turns out that they have spawned at least twice for me. There's babies in here at 2 different sizes, and it's only with the advent of this Daphnia project, where I've been throwing some live food in there for the last few weeks to try and stimulate this pair to breed, that I've been paying a bit more attention, and I thought I could see little things darting about in corners. That they don't breed particularly many fry at a time, certainly in the early days. Maybe as few as a dozen to 15 at a time, and I had some good success with the previous lot, running them stepwise, i.e. letting older siblings stay part of the mix, and really happy to have these back again. That's the little guys in centre of screen there are the first batch of fry, I'd suggest, and they're probably all of 15 mils, but already very nicely marked, so a great start. And on the subject of a great start, I've made a new contact in the Sydney region that has reached out to me to help me distribute some of the fish that I'm breeding. So this week we sent a first order of fish up to the Sydney area, and hopefully those fish will do the rounds in shops of, I think, the northern half of Sydney maybe. And at this time we've sent some Malawis, some Tetrastigma, some Tetraspilus, the yellowfin mulattoes, some blueberry zebras, and some VC10s. So if you're out in your local fish store in the next few weeks and you see some of those fish, they're most likely mine. I hope you get to enjoy them. It's a bit of a relief for me to finally have a bit of outlet for some of the cichlids. We're going to be sending a second lot this weekend, which will comprise some tang species. They hopefully will go the same way as these couple of boxes, and you might see some of that stuff in your store as well. What else happened? The day we were packing these fish, I poked my head up at one point and was greeted with this sight. Fish never choose to spawn in a corner where your glass is super clean and whatnot, but this is one of my male Lethrinops Micrentodon macacola getting the job done with a willing female. He's certainly looking pretty fancy dress at the minute, although you do have to wonder how far these eggs are swirling when he buggers off to go and chase somebody. But looks like Mum's doing a decent enough job of trying to find them all. And unfortunately I couldn't sort of spend a lot of time filming this because it was during my pack of that previous order that was going out. Always nice to catch them in the act though. I do have some fry of these growing already. This group is something I got late last year, and they've certainly established. Now this is another pleasing thing that happened for me this week. This is a group of, amongst other fish, Haplochromis sp44, the thick skin. This is a Lake Victorian cichlid, and those of you that know me well know how hard I'm trying to advocate for these species. We've got so few in Australia that are of any degree of purity. We're probably looking at 8 to 10 species only in Australia, and they do cause a lot of conjecture with people wanting to argue that they're crossed and whatnot. That's a story for another day. This is I assume the same female. It's certainly another 44 that I found a couple of days later with a decent mouthful. She does a good job of finding a bit of vacant water in this fairly hectic tank. So we'll put a little note on the calendar to get in here in a couple of weeks to strip her. Nice to have some more of these coming through soon. And it's always quite a busy time down here in Tassie, the summer period for breeding. And one of the problems I'm starting to run into with having so many species of fish is finding places to deal with fry and double handling. So this week we're knocking up a video that'll go live pretty shortly on how to build one of these little fry boxes. And in this particular box is a new species. I've got some baby blue otter, Placidochromis blue otters. It's my first time spawning those ever, so really happy to have a little number of those coming through. This is this is a bit of a mixed bag that resulted from those tanks I showed in last week's video. These are some baby firefish, Alonocara firefish, are the yellowy little bubs, and the little dark fellas are the Metreoclima elongatus chewere. First time in this tumbler we've got some Alonocara Stewart-Grant-eye Eucisia, or the flavescent peacock, which is something that's my first time breeding them as well. So another newbie this week at Fat Glens Fish. And we've got a couple of little Solosi that I've just got in there to keep safe. So that's kind of the top 40 of what happened in my room this week. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to watch that video about the fry savers, it's linked on screen.